Well, there is a club in London that has gone ahead to make an offer for Isak, but it has been rejected by Newcastle. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? And we're watching us from Agopa, the names of Rokani David. 28th of June, 2024, and it's a Juma Karim. It's a Friday in my country. I hope it's a Friday also everywhere you're watching us from. Smash like button, comment, and share if you're watching us for the very first time. Endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. We are going to be discussing a little bit of Pierre-Emerick Højbjerg, you know him very well, plays for Tottenham Hotspur, and then the former Arsenal Academy graduate known as Hutchinson, who plays for who is now at Chelsea and was loaned at Ipswich. There is something important that Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead obviously let us know about this deal. So this is where we started from, and I know you people have been thirsty. You've said Rokani really starts late. All right, let's obviously start early today. Now, Alexander Isak is a player that went ahead to score very many goals, and if I told you in the Premier League at the age of Alexander Isak and you scored 20 plus goals in a Premier League season only, very many clubs will be looking at you. And clubs that have gone ahead to be looking in for centre forwards are Arsenal, Man United, Tottenham Hotspur, Chelsea, even Liverpool a little bit. So for any club that needs any striker, they've gone ahead to be looking in for him. And the problem has always gone ahead to be the amount of money that Newcastle request for Isak. Isak is very happy at Newcastle and believes that he might need like one or two more seasons to obviously leave the side of Newcastle. Has come out and really said that he feels like he's happy at the club. But trust me, the moment a team makes an offer, that means there is an intent for the player to show to it that he wants to obviously leave and move elsewhere. So this is the news coming in through from the side of Italy, and it is Di Marzio, global transfer expert, and you know him very well that he has been one of the most credible people in there for you. Though nowadays he really hits misses, but he was one of those that we always wanted to see it that we get credible information from him. So it was rumored to us that if any team wanted to sign Alexander Isak, they need to cough between 150 million pounds to 170 million pounds, a price that Kylian Mbappe almost would have gone ahead to cross for from PSG to the side of Real Madrid if at all he was really tied on a contract. The same applies to Erling Haaland. Man City value him for 150 million pounds. You understand? So as per now, it looks like a lot is really going to be happening onto this. And as Arsenal was like, we are not really into Alexander Isak, and we cannot go in for a player of that huge magnitude of money. Obviously, their rival, known as Tottenham Hotspur, offered Rokani plus money for Alexander Isak. However, Newcastle United rejected the proposal. Isak is happy at the club and is under contract until 2028. However, Newcastle must make a huge sell by June 30th. Now, we know why teams are really going into teams like Newcastle and Everton, because those teams really need to meet what we call the Premier League profit sustainability rules, and they're trying to obviously get in players from that side. For the side of Newcastle, they also add Bruno Guimaraes, and after the clause expired on 24th, none of the teams have gone ahead obviously show up that they really want to obviously trigger this clause into the mix. So we're here to wait and see how that is going to pan out, but it is really getting hot for the side of Alexander Isak, and Newcastle might find themselves caught in a situation where they cannot really keep Alexander Isak, because if Spurs does that and Arsenal really gets information that there is a price that Spurs is willing to spend on, I think Arsenal can come in through and obviously try to hijack that deal. And I think that's why Arsenal is really a little bit silent onto who the striker is going to be. Right now, they've been so much linked to Gyökeres, but Fabrizio Romano told us that it's not that advanced as the Leonino in Portugal is really reporting. So let's talk about Spurs offering Richarlison and money to Newcastle to obviously get in Alexander Isak. When you look at Newcastle, they have a decision to make, and they've already gone ahead to make it, that they would rather lose Bruno Guimaraes rather than losing Isak, because Isak has gone ahead to come in through to score them very many goals, and they believe that this coming season he might be a 30-goal scorer into what we call the Premier League. You get? And if at all he scores 30 goals with his contract running until 2028, he will be left with 3 seasons, and maybe a team will come out and break the bank and buy him for like 140 million pounds. Because I tell you, a time is going to come when a team will really put in that much to obviously sign a player known as Alexander Isak. And I think their accounting is really right, because they're having money but they cannot spend it. You all know that. They're having money but they cannot spend it. That's the problem. The owners coming in from Saudi Arabia really have money but they cannot spend it on Newcastle. All what they have to do is sell Bruno Guimaraes like for 80 million pounds, stay with Tinali, and you have Tinali and Joe Hington, the Brazilian, the midfield, and then get in one midfield and maybe use that money to obviously strengthen other areas. And then after next season, they can sell like Alexander Isak for like 130 and 40 million pounds, and then they obviously add it to their squad. But the moment a team puts a price tag onto the player, that means that player is available for sale, and you don't know what Tottenham Hotspur is really gonna do. For Spurs, they're gonna be playing in Europe. You get? Secondly, they are gonna be doing the needful in as far as fighting for the Champions League positions is really concerned. And I tell you, Spurs is a more reputable team than Newcastle, and Newcastle has what we call financial problems. And Isak and his agent might sit down and really evaluate and say, right, let's pick Tottenham Hotspur over Newcastle, you know. So wait and see how that pans out. But a bid is going to hit to be rejected. Richarlison, for me, having gone ahead to score 10 goals plus in the Premier League for the very first time ever since he came in through, I think if I'm Newcastle, I would take Richarlison and the money, because they're really having problems. But the moment they're not willing to sell, you get, it confirms to you that they're really having a solution. They have a solution. Newcastle is a very hard team to sell, because even when their sporting director showed interest or intent to go to the club of Manchester United, that is Dan Ashworth, they called in for 20 million pounds, and Ineos was like, we cannot pay that amount of money, and they believe that it will come an extent when he's fed up of being on the gardening leave and he'll obviously sign out. You understand? So after that, let's obviously have something important coming in through from the side of Borussia Dortmund. Højbjerg, Spurs also. He's one of those players that Postecoglou is not really interested in. And Bill German have told us that Borussia Dortmund is looking at Pierre-Emerick Højbjerg, the leader of the Danish national team only, has 1 year left on his contract with Tottenham Hotspur. The bosses see a need for action in the number 6 position because Emre Can and Salih Ozan are known to convincing. So Pierre-Emerick Højbjerg is a very good player, and his experience really commands a lot in teams like Borussia Dortmund. And when you look at Spurs, with the competition in that area, I think Højbjerg would love to see it obviously leaves the side of Tottenham Hotspur and get more playing time at Dortmund. And Borussia Dortmund is going to be playing in the Champions League, something that Spurs is not going to be doing. And I think he can easily express himself and hit his ceiling before he obviously hits that age of like 30 plus, where the world will be like, everything of his is done. And I think Borussia Dortmund would have gone to make a very good deal for obviously getting him in at the club of Borussia Dortmund. And he will be competing with the likes of Sabitzer, Emre Can, and very many others. And I think he will welcome the move. It will obviously enlighten his chances to go and play into the World Cup of 2026, because with the emerging talent, you never know who is really going to be coming in through, you know, into that team of Denmark. And look at how Rasmus Højlund came from nowhere, from Atalanta to Manchester United, and now he's leading the line. You never know, there might develop another player from Denmark who can come in through and obviously put in a very huge shift. and after him putting in a very huge shift, I tell you what, all will be well for him. So we wait and see how that is really going to pan out, but a lot is really under consideration, and I know it's not only Borussia Dortmund that is going to be into the mix. Now, Hutchinson is one of those that you guys have going to obviously know for a very long time. From Arsenal, he left as a free agent, went to Chelsea, given false promises, and then he got to loan onto the side of Ipswich. He went ahead, obviously, play a very beautiful role for Ipswich to be promoted into the Premier League, and now it looks like it's gonna be really happening any time from now, and it's an exclusive. It's an exclusive, all right, coming in through from the side of Fabrizio Romano. He has told us that Ipswich Town opened negotiations with Chelsea to sign Omari Hutchinson on a permanent deal. Germany clubs were also keen, but Ipswich Town are now pushing after McKenna's decision to stay as key factor. Ipswich Town hope to get it done as talks are ongoing. You understand? So it's really happening. And after this post that Fabrizio put up on his X, he followed it up with the following: Ipswich and Chelsea are advancing in talks for Omari Hutchinson, as revealed earlier tonight. Fee around 20 to 25 million pounds, while talks are also ongoing on personal terms with players' agents. No buyback clause, only sell-on clause. That is what we are getting in through from the side of Fabrizio Romano. So Omari Hutchinson, I think it's better he tried it out on Ipswich Town, and I know he's really going to put in some huge performances this season, because he has always gone ahead, obviously put them on every time he's called upon. So wait and see how that pans out, and I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below about Isak, offer rejected by the side of Newcastle. What do you make about that, right? Then what do you make about Pierre-Emerick Højbjerg, Borussia Dortmund interest, and Omari Hutchinson really closing in to joining Ipswich Town on a permanent? And I think Arsenal fans will be really excited to obviously welcome him at their stadium for the very first time ever since he left. When you look at Arsenal and their fixtures, I would love to see when Arsenal is really playing Ipswich Town right into exactly what we call the Premier League. Arsenal starts with Wolves. Then when they're playing Ipswich, I just want to know when they're playing Ipswich, they're double header. All right, 26th of December, that's when Arsenal is going to be hosting Ipswich at the Emirates Stadium, and this guy is going to be facing his former club that wanted to keep him at the club, and he was like, I'm not staying here, I'm leaving because you people are not having a very good pathway to the first team. And that is one of the biggest problems that Arteta has to address this coming season. How does he integrate the young stars into the already established stars? Because Arsenal, what made it famous was how they got in those young stars from the academy and really integrate them in the team. You remember those days of players like Diaby, Song Bilong. We'll talk about Cesc Fabregas. We'll talk about Ali Aliye, Denilson, Eboe, Gal Cliche, Gibbs, Senderos. You understand? Those kind of players that Arsenal always got from the academy and really promoted them into the first team, you know? And those they sold and really got in as pure profit. You understand? So we wait and see how that pans out. First video of the day is out. Starting at this time, you know that we are really charged to the fullest, and we are going to really give you the best that you guys deserve. We out. Bye-bye.